I was informed today that certain places, I guess on Fort Knox somewhere, and some place in the UK, uh, they banning the movie Roots, you know. And I read the post, a little bit of it, and me and my friend was discussing it, and I told her I'm not surprised because I went with they briefed me with that back in the 90s. You know, the government briefed me on it, and they were telling me my movie, my life story, gonna replace Roots forever. Once my movie get out there, it's gonna replace Roots forever. And at the time, I was in my 20s, and I'm thinking, ain't no freaking way. You know what I mean? And I thought no more of it. You know. Now let's forward 30 years. One day I was talking to my brother, and I said, "Dog, you gonna look at Roots tonight?" And he said, "Hell no." He said we used to have riots in high school, and I think he's talking about back in the 70s, whenever Roots were playing. He said we used to have riots. I said why? He said because all the other races looked at us as weak and dumb because of that goddamn movie. He said, man, that movie will be belittling all us. They need to burn all that shit down, right? I was shocked because this was like 20, I think 13, or 2012. And I was shocked that him and the government thought alike. So I thought no more of it. And then me and my Asian wife were in immigration. Well, let me go with the job first. Me and the Mexicans, right? On the job, they saw Roots, and they kept saying, Moya Suave, Moya Suave. And I know what that means. I mean, like people sorry, right? But they didn't know I know what it means. So I let them say that the whole week Root were playing. They come to work, laugh, and drink coffee. Moya Suave, Moya Suave, they're talking about Root. Now I say, man, why y'all keep saying black people sorry, or in y'all language, Negro sorry? And they all looked at each other. Say, we talking about Roots, baby. I said, what about Roots? Talk to me. Man, black people is so sorry. They so stupid, they be. Everybody know y'all are the stupidest people in the world. I say, why? Why, Juan? Y'all work for free. All I went to laughing. And I said, man, we ain't had no choice but to work for free. They had weapons. Then the other Mexicans say, 4 white men control 1,000 Negroes with 1 shooter guns. And all of them like, and say, Davey, don't you know all they had to do was arrest them little 4 white men? Black people are so dumb. Black people are so stupid. Black people work for free. And all the black on the job, we had tears in our eyes. We were number 12. And the other black guy say, David, let's get the hell out of here, man. It ain't worth going to prison. And all the white guys standing there, even my boss, and he's standing up like, and I agree with the other black guy and some of the white guys. They say, you know why he was smiling? Because he agree with everything they saying. So he beg her, please don't know, please don't know. I'm gonna have a meeting with them. I say, no, what you do is write up a report to go to the front office. That's what you do. If me and the black dude left and we come back tomorrow, I say, can I see the report? You know, he kept dropping the head, and then he finally say, I didn't wrote no report because they just don't know better, David. So we had a meeting with him, and my boss say, why do y'all think black people stupid? And they all say it. All 8 of them say, roots, 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 roots. And I remember what the research said. And I dropped my head. And I told the black dude, dog, ain't nothing we can do, dog. I said, they telling the truth because I got told that by the highest level, brother. He said, for real, Dave, man? I said, the high level told me that, dog. I say, everybody else see roots. The black people see roots as a badge of honor and show how resilient we is. But the rest of the world see roots as we dumb, stupid, and the white man had to civilize us to make us human. So now that's over with, right? Then I married an Asian woman. We sitting in immigration looking at Barack Obama debate Trump. Immigration full of black people, Haitians and Spanish people. And my Asian wife said out loud, if nigger become president, the world gonna end. Oh, she made me mad. Because that what the Mexicans were saying on the job also. If nigger become president, the world gonna end. Then I said, why? And they said the same thing my wife said. Roots, 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 roots. Everybody know that black people are the dumbest people on the world, Davey. And she said the same thing. And they said, I know we surrounded by immigration. And they got machine gun. And they told me, say, hey, go all the way down next to the wall and sit. And then they explained to her that you got smart people in every race. Just ain't no one race is superior than the other. And she said, yeah, but Trump got more money than him. Whoever got the most money is Marty. That man say money don't mean a damn thing. And say Trump is not never smarter than that black guy there. That guy is educated and Trump not. But that guy got every degree you can think of at the highest level. She said, no, but in my country, whoever got the most money is Marty. And then, you know, I drove home that day mad as hell. And I'm thinking about roots and I want to stump somebody's ass. You know, for even showing that. They showing us getting beat. They showing us being treated bad. But every time somebody want to make a movie and they hide in my book because I'm the one doing that. And I'm being gentle and polite about it. I'm being a gentleman doing it. Not an animal. Even the claim told me. So you was a gentleman every step of the way. And we realized that we've been lied to by our grandparents and parents about black people are animals. So you was a total gentleman the entire 3 years, even when facing death. I heard that you told them, hey man, let's get this over with. Damn all the talking. He said, if that ain't bravery, I don't know what is. You know, and anyway, Ruth is seen by the rest of the world as belittling the entire race, like race. To us, it's a wonderful movie. It's a badge of honor. It shows our strength, our resilience, but not to the rest of the world. Just think about that. Thank you, and God bless.